Most people think the only way to get government funding to help people is to start a nonprofit. That belief alone has kept a lot of powerful ideas stuck on the sidelines. So let me say this clearly. That is a lie. The government does not fund tax statuses. They fund outcomes. And once you understand that distinction, everything changes. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact 3-step proof method I've used for more than 20 years working with government agencies, workforce boards, and public systems to get programs funded and contracts approved, often alongside for-profit partners. Nonprofit status was never the requirement most people think it is. Proof was. And I'm also going to show you how you can use AI to speed this entire process up without watering it down. Let's start with step 1. Step 1 is piloting your program or idea. Here's the rule I want you to write down. Imperfect action beats a perfect plan every single time. Too many people are stuck waiting. They're waiting for a grant, they're waiting for approval, or they're waiting until everything is polished, branded, and perfect. Trust me, this was me. But the truth is, you don't need funding to start. You need a pilot. A pilot is permission to be imperfect. It's your testing ground. A pilot lets you test your assumptions about the people you want to serve and about their real needs and about whether your solution actually works in real life. You don't need 100 people, you don't need a full staff, and you don't need a fancy website. You need a small group, a clear intention, and a willingness to learn. Because pilots don't exist to prove you're right. They exist to reveal what's real. And I want you to hear this part clearly. I'm not speaking in theory. I ran a nonprofit for 20 years, and the very first grant I ever wrote, my first one, was awarded $1 million. Not because I had the perfect paperwork and not because of my nonprofit status, but because I had outcomes from a 6-month pilot program that worked. Which brings me directly to step number 2, documenting outcomes. And this is where most people lose the plot. Helping people is good, but it's not good enough. We all want to help. We all want to do meaningful work. We all want to make an impact, right? But the government does not fund intentions. They fund results. And this is where you have to shift how you think about how you're going to land your next contract. You can't just do the work. You have to measure the change, the outcome. The change is the gap between your client's baseline and this new outcome. The base is where they start. What did life look like at day 1? Were they unemployed, underemployed? Were they failing a class, living paycheck to paycheck, or earning zero income? That's the starting point, and that starting point matters. Now look at them after working with you. That's the outcome. Did they land a job? Did they earn a credential or pass an exam? Did they gain a measurable skill? Did their income increase? Did their stability improve? That difference, that gap, that is what you're selling. And here's the rule that you cannot break. If it's not written down, it doesn't exist. You cannot sell a story to the government without data. That data can be simple. It could be pre and post surveys. It could be test scores, completion records, pay stubs, certificates. This is your proof. Because in the world of workforce contracts, audits, and public funding, undocumented impact might as well have never happened. So now let's move to step number 3, the AI accelerant. This is the part that removes overwhelm and speeds everything up. Most people freeze when it's time to write the proposal. They second guess their language. They don't know how to sound official. They think they need a grant writer. I don't know how many times I was asked, can you write a grant? I need a grant writer. You don't need a grant writer. You already have one, and it's called AI. You've already done the hard part. You've piloted the program and you've documented the outcomes. Now you got to let AI translate your proof into professional language. Take your documented outcomes, the jobs, the certificates, the income increases, and you feed them directly into ChatGPT and you give it this prompt. Based on these successful outcomes from my pilot, turn this into a 1-page executive summary for a workforce development grant or contract proposal. That's it. Now, what happens next is very powerful because AI is going to take your raw notes and convert them into a clear, structured, government-ready contract proposal template. It's going to bridge the gap between what you did and what funders are already conditioned to read. And if you want to strengthen this even further, Here's the next level. I want you to look up your state's unified workforce plan. Every state has one. Then you're going to download the plan, upload it into AI, and use it to identify whether the proposed program aligns with the state's stated workforce priorities. This shows alignment. It shows awareness and it positions you for funding and partnerships instead of chasing these grants and getting rejected. Now, let's bring it all together. Because at this point, you have two things that most people never get. You have proof from a real pilot, and you have a proposal that you can actually use. And this is where myth finally dies. You don't need a nonprofit board, ladies and gentlemen. You need access to a workforce board. Stop waiting on a board of directors to approve your vision. Workforce boards fund programs based on performance, not tax statuses. They already have the money and they already have the contracts. And now you have the proof to sit at the table. Access to workforce contracts shouldn't be this hard. And with AI Contract School, it won't be. If this was helpful, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Drop your questions in the comments, especially if you want to understand more about accessing workforce contracts using AI.